Kittens go through several stages of development after being born.
In Tisby, though, LLB, talking about those stages and showing you some of the most adorable kitten videos that I could find to help explain what I'm talking about.
So, without further ado, let's get right into it.
Stage 1 is called the newborn stage, and this is where your kitten will be from birth all the way up until they are around 2 weeks old. During this stage, your kitten will primarily focus on eating, sleeping, and growing.
They won't really do much else other than maybe make some attempts at vocalizing, which are typically pretty weak and not too frequent. You may also start to notice them making some very weak attempts at moving around.
But for the most part, they'll just be hanging out with their eyes closed, not really exploring their surroundings or interacting much with their environment. This is because their brains are still developing and they are entirely dependent on their mother for milk.
They will also likely have difficulty regulating their body temperature, since they can't yet produce enough body heat on their own.
For this reason, Mom will usually keep them very close, so that she can warm them up with her body. It's also very common during this stage for kittens to have trouble urinating and defecating. And once again, Mom will have to help stimulate this process by licking them. If you have a stray or a feral cat that has just given birth outside, this is actually one of the main reasons why these cats often struggle to take care of their kittens. If Mom isn't present or available to do these things for the kittens, then they will more than likely die. This brings us to our next stage, which is the second week of life. During this time period, kittens will start to become more active and alert. Their eyes will finally start opening up around day 3 to 7.
And they'll start to become more curious about their...
They will also start nursing more frequently than before, and will begin to grow faster than they did in the previous week. If everything goes well, their teeth should start coming in around day 10. But overall, this is going to be another week where they spend most of their time sleeping, eating, and hanging out with their littermates and Mom. Around the end of this stage, they will start to explore a little bit more, but they still won't really be walking around too much or doing anything too crazy. Stage 3 is when your kitten will really start to explore and get into everything. This is going to be around the 3rd and 4th week of life, and this is when their teeth should continue coming in. Their first set of teeth will most likely be their incisors, followed by their canines. The first 4 to 5 days of this stage will probably be the most chaotic, especially if you have multiple kittens, because they will start to become much more rambunctious and will want to play.
You will definitely see a lot more biting and scratching as they start getting their teeth. But this is just part of their natural development.
It's also very common for them to fight with each other, but it's not usually a big deal unless there's blood involved. At this stage, they're also going to start getting a little bit more adventurous.
And we'll start climbing and jumping.
This is a good time to start socializing them and exposing them to different sights, sounds, and experiences. It is important to handle them a lot during this stage and get them used to being around people. The last thing that I want to mention about this stage is that this is when your kitten should be weaned off of mother-ass milk and onto solid food. By the end of this stage, they should be eating solid food exclusively and should be completely weaned by the end of the 4th week. Now, if you have a kitten that is not yet 6 months old and they are not eating solid food exclusively, please leave a comment down below. I would love to know how old they are and what they're eating. I've had a few instances where a kitten was not fully weaned by 6 months of ahe, which is concerning. So, if you have any insight on this, please let me know. The 5th and 6th week of your kitten's life will fall under stage 4, which is when they will continue to grow rapidly.
They will also start to develop more of their adult characteristics, like their shape and size.
Most of their body weight gain during this stage will come from muscle rather than fat.
Their coat will also start to become thicker and fuller as they prepare for the possibility of cold weather. Now, depending on the breed, your kitten may be completely done with their kitten stage at the end of the 6th week.
For example, my American Shorthair was completely done with the kitten stage by the time he was 6 months old. Other breeds, however, like Persians, for example, can remain kittens for much longer, sometimes even up to a year. But for most medium to large-sized cats, the kitten stage will be over at the end of the 6th week, and they will start to look more like miniature versions of their adult selves. They should also be completely litter box trained by now and should be ready to go to their new homes.
If you have a kitten that is 8 weeks old or younger, and they are not yet litter box trained, something is definitely wrong.
Please consult your vet right away. The 7th and 8th week of life is considered pre-adolescence, and this is a time period where your kitten will start to slow down a little bit.
They will still be playful and energetic, but not quite at the same level as they were during the kitten stage.
This is also a time period where they will start to mature a little bit and become more independent. During this stage, it's important to continue socializing them and providing them with mental and physical stimulation. This is a critical time in their development, and it will help them grow into well-adjusted adult cats. Neutering or spaying is also often recommended during this stage.
At the end of the 8th week of life, your cat will enter the adolescence stage. This is when they will start to become more independent and will start exploring their world on their own.
They will still need supervision and guidance from their owner, but they will be capable of doing more things on their own than they were able to do during the kitten stage. It's very common for cats to be a little bit destructive during this stage because they are full of energy and are looking for ways to release it.
This is also a good time to start training them and teaching them basic commands.
With patience and positive reinforcement, your cat can learn a variety of tricks and behaviors. Socialization should also continue during this stage, and it is important to expose them to a variety of people, animals, and environments. This will help them become well-adjusted adult cats. Now, if your cat has not been socialized during the kitten stage or the pre-adolescent stage, it is possible to socialize them during the adolescent stage, but it will be more difficult. It is important to start slowly and gradually expose them to the things that you want them to be comfortable with.
The last stage is young adulthood, which typically begins at around 6 months of RE. This is when your cat will reach sexual maturity, but they will still be considered a kitten until they are around 1 year old.
Now, depending on the breed, your cat may reach physical maturity earlier or later. However, in general, 1 year is a good time frame to consider them fully grown and mature.
Cats are crepuscular, meaning that they are most active at dawn and dusk. They are also very good at adapting to changes in their environment.
I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed putting it together for you guys. I am so grateful for every single one of you. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting me. Have a great day. Bye bye.